And it all takes place at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be taking a closer look at the statistics that nobody talks about. We're mentioning this weekend's world title fight at 147 pounds in Las Vegas between world champion Mario Barrios and the challenger Ryan Garcia. Guys, before we continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you also like this video? Also, guys, join our Johnny Says Boxing Insider professional betting Discord. The link is pinned in the comment section below. You can either join here on YouTube and become a JSB Insider, or on Patreon. Whichever way you join, it's a couple bucks a month. It gets you access to our professional betting community. It's not just boxing in there, MMA, all pro sports. We actually just launched for the Aussies this coming month, AFL, NRL, and the Americans, Major League Baseball. So click the link to find out more. All right, guys, we have a massive week of boxing ahead of us. Internationally, we have a big card in the UK. We have this massive card in the States. So in this video, what we're gonna do is focus on the world title fight at 147 pounds between world champion Mario Barrios and challenger Ryan Garcia. In this video, what we're gonna do is break down both fighters' careers. We're gonna talk a little bit about how each fighter goes about their business. And like always, stay tuned to the end of the video. That's where I'll be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction and telling you where to put your money. Guys, the last time we saw Ryan Garcia, he was part of the Times Square card. It was last year. He was pitted up against Rolly Romero in a fight in which everybody had Ryan Garcia tipped to win that fight. He was a massive betting favorite, and it was one of those performances that kind of left you scratching your head. Garcia got dropped early and he never seemed to recover. He ended up getting outpointed by a wide margin and lost a decision to Rolly Romero. Since then, Rolly has been elevated and he is a full world champion at 147. If you would have told me 10 years ago when Ryan Garcia turned pro that 10 years in, he would have yet to win gold around his waist, I probably would have been a bit shocked. This was a kid coming out of the amateurs, a lot of hype, a lot of pressure with that hype, and he's been doing his best to kind of navigate these professional waters. We've seen him lose a couple times. We've seen him look great, but as of late, there are a lot of questions. There's been coaching changes, and he is currently teamed back up with his father, pro coach Henry, for this massive opportunity. If Garcia could come out on top, he will be able to say for the first time in his career that he is a full world champion. In his opponent, Mario Barrios, he's coming off a couple draws. We haven't seen him since his fight against Manny Pacquiao. Before that, he fought Abel Ramos. Both fights ended up in a draw, so he didn't lose, but he didn't win. But more importantly, he didn't lose his belt. Barrios always seems to find himself in big fights. This is another massive opportunity to remind everybody on the world stage why Mario Barrios is a world champion. It would be an understatement to say both guys have a lot to prove in this fight with everything on the line. It's really going to depend on which Ryan Garcia shows up. Mario Barrios is a guy, when you watch his tape, you might not see anything that jumps off of the paper. I know he gets a lot of heat lately in the media and in boxing groups about his performance against Manny Pacquiao, but I live scored this just 2 days ago in our Discord, and 1 through 12, I got my notes sitting right in front of me. I scored it when I watched it in real time for Mario Barrios, and this second time I scored it 115 to 113 for Mario Barrios. There were many close rounds. I put rounds 4, round 6, rounds 9, and rounds 11 were extremely close, so those could have gone either way. In that fight, I saw Mario Barrios start off with a good jab, but then somewhere in the mid to later rounds, his jab disappeared, and he kind of goes through these lulls in output as well, letting his opponent dictate the pace. I feel if it wasn't for Pacquiao's age, 46 years old, the aura of Manny Pacquiao, maybe the draw wouldn't have looked so bad, but I think people are kind of underselling Pacquiao. At 46, explosive, athletic, experienced, one of the greatest to ever do it, would still be a handful for many guys at 147, but we know how that fight went, and a lot of people scored it for Pacquiao. In the end, I wasn't one of those. I felt like Barrios did enough to get the victory. Ryan Garcia is coming off a lackluster performance. This is a kid, like I said, people had big hopes, big aspirations. What do we always say? What have you done for me lately? You're only as good as your last fight. And for both guys, they have an opportunity to erase all of the doubt, all of the naysayers, and put a performance of a career on this Saturday night in Vegas. Which one will do so? Only time will tell. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at the challenger, Ryan Garcia, see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Ryan Garcia is 24-2 of his 24 wins. 20 of them come by way of knockout. Of his 2 losses, he's been stopped once. Out of 2,712 fighters in the world at 147 pounds, he's ranked 21. He's fought a career total of 124 pro rounds and carries him in the ring at an 83% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans call him King Rye, and the 27-year-old American is a 5'8" orthodox fighter with a 70-inch reach. He was born in Victorville, California, but calls Los Angeles, California, USA home. We last saw him fight Raleigh, 16-2, lost to UD in the 12th. Devinhaney, 31-0, no contest, no decision in the 12th. Oscar Duarte, 26-1, stopped him in the 8th. Tank Davis, 28-0, he got stopped in the 7th. Javier Fortuna, 37-3, he won by knockout in the 6th. There's some big names on Ryan Garcia's resume. He hasn't been as active as I would like for my 27-year-old prize fighters in their prime. We know he lost a year with what happened against Devinhaney with the drug test. That Devinhaney performance, he looked amazing. We know what happened. We know he failed a drug test, so it got erased from the history books, but not from our memories. A lot of us, myself included, will say right now, and I really believe this, if that Ryan Garcia shows up on the weekend against Mario Barrios, he wins. But there's so many ifs in our sport. There's so many ifs with Ryan Garcia. We last saw him against Raleigh and he looked flat, he looked slow, he looked sluggish. He looked like he was searching for answers in that fight, and he was never able to overcome that knockdown. And the crazy thing about that was, you can't say that he can't come back, because we've seen him drop before the Luke Campbell fight, and he figured a way through that, and then he came back and stopped Luke Campbell. That seemed like a long time ago. He's only fought a handful of times since 2022, and this most recent version of him, the Raleigh version, it's really hard for me to see that that isn't who he is right now. When Ryan's at his best, we know about the lead hook, we know about his hand speed, we know about his power. All of that disappeared in Times Square early last year. So there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions with both guys. It's what makes this fight so interesting and what makes boxing so interesting. You never know. Some guys, when the lights are super bright, they step up. Some, they kind of disappear. We've seen Ryan do both as of late. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at the champion, Mario Barrios, and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Mario Barrios is 29-2. Of his 29 wins, 18 of them come by way of knockout. Of his 2 losses, he's been stopped once. He does have 2 draws. Out of 2,712 fighters in the world at 147, he's ranked 24. He's fought a career total of 210 pro rounds. He carries in the ring a 62% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as El Azteca, and the 30-year-old American is a 6-foot-tall orthodox fighter with a 71-inch reach. He was born and raised and lives in San Antonio, Texas, USA. We last saw him fight Manny Pacquiao, 62-8-2, majority draw in the 12th. Abel Ramos, 28-6-2, split draw in the 12th. Maidana, 22-2, won a UD in the 12th. Ugas, 27-4, UD in the 12th. Santiago, 14-2, stopped him in the 8th. The 2 fights before that, he lost back-to-back fights. One, he got stopped against Tank Davis. The other one, he lost the decision to Keith Thurman. When you look at both guys' resumes, you got to give the resume strength of schedule to Mario Barrios. Both guys have a common opponent in Tank Davis. Both guys got stopped. The difference in this matchup is it is at 147. Barrios is the bigger guy. He's the more experienced guy. He is the world champion. This will be the biggest guy that Ryan Garcia physically has fought. And I feel that going into this fight, Garcia is going to have to be the version against Devin to beat Barrios. When I rewatched the Manny Pacquiao tape, Mario Barrios did a lot of things good that people forget. He stayed defensively sound. He didn't fall apart. His jab looked really good early, and he didn't really get hit flush. He didn't get hit clean. There were a couple combos where Manny landed in the first few rounds and then a combo in the late half. But Barrios stayed defensive minded. He doesn't have the quickest feet, but his feet are better than people think. He'll use the ring when he wants to, but doesn't really like to. His feet can be flat, and he keeps his head on the center line a little bit too much for my liking. He's one of these punchers who kind of I go, you go sort of thing. He doesn't really like punching with you. He picks his shots, and he kind of could go through lulls of low output. So for Mario Barrios to win, he's going to have his jab on point. I think he's going to have to be defensively sound, just like I saw against Manny Pacquiao, and he's going to have to just circle away from Ryan's lead hook. For Ryan Garcia, he's going to have to be psychologically switched on. His hook has to be on point. His hand speed has to be on point, and he can't go in there second guessing himself. When Ryan Garcia is confident, when he is on his A game, he is one of the best in the world. I want to see that version of him. As a coach myself, he's one of these fighters in this era that frustrates me because we see what he can be at his full potential, but we also have an example of what he can be when he's not switched on, and it's really hard to forget about that. I should mention, Bob Santos is not in Mario Barrios' corner for this camp. He reached out and hired one of Ryan Garcia's older coaches, the legendary Joe Goosen. Garcia did speak out about this a couple weeks ago doing media, and he spoke about how he's not happy about it, called Goosen a traitor. Make what you will about that psychologically. Will that help Ryan? Will that hurt Ryan? Once again, only time will tell. Guys, before I get into these current Las Vegas odds and I give you my prediction, I do daily live streams every single day. In those live streams, we go over all of the fights internationally. We talk about over and unders. We talk about props. I give you my underdogs of the week. It's why you have to join our Patreon, join the Discord to get all of my picks in these Stats Zone Live videos. You're only going to get my money line prediction. All right, guys, let's pull out our betting apps. Wherever you are in the world, Mario Barrios on the money line is the underdog. If you put 100 on Barrios, you get your money back plus 205 bucks, so a 2-to-1 dog. Garcia is the favorite. 100 on Ryan gets you your money back plus $43. So Ryan is a 43% return bet on the money line at this moment. Those odds, I think, reflect Ryan Garcia's potential. When I think about what have you done for me lately in both guys, neither one has looked amazing. The one is coming off a loss, Ryan Garcia, really head-scratching loss to Raleigh. And then Barrios, people were saying that the draw against Manny was that bad. Like I told you, I didn't think he fought that bad. He fought really hesitant. He said after the fight he respected Manny way too much, and how could you not? You're in there with a living legend and a pro Manny Pacquiao crowd. That sort of pressure, that sort of experience, I feel, will help Mario Barrios in the future. I don't think he's a shot fighter. He's the bigger dude. He has the more experience. I think he punches harder than people think he does, and I think his defense is better than people thinks it is. Right now on the money line, hold up. You know, we got to do it. We're swindling. The swindler is back. I'm going with the dog again. I think Mario Barrios is live here at plus money. He is the world champion. There are just too many questions for me to put my money on Ryan Garcia, especially what he's looked like as of late. In the comment section below, guys, we know this pick is going to cause an uproar, but this is not an echo chamber, so we appreciate and respect everyone's opinion. In the comment section below, will we hear and still for Mario Barrios or and new for King Rye? Guys, stay tuned. This week on the show, we have 3 massive guest live streams. Wednesday, I'm streaming live with Gary from 3D Boxing. Friday, we got Tommy Ranone, former pro and co-host of the Paulie Malignaggi and Tommy Ranone betting show. And then my Saturday, Joe Stunner Boxing, the UK's own. He's going to come on the live stream, and we're going to break down that UK card, specifically talking about the Lee Wood versus Josh Warrington 2 fight and the Bilal Fawaz and Ishmael Davis fight. So stay tuned.